When you first log into Mentes360, you're going to be welcomed by this real estate entity portfolio page. So I have put together 3 different real estate entities so that we can see some of the information that's contained here within, including the starting date of each of these models, the property valuation, and the number of partners for each of these different real estate entities. And we're going to focus on this first one so that we can show some of the cool functionality that's available as part of Mentes360. As we open up this page, we can see that there are 3 different tabs, including an analysis page, a graphs page, and a partners page. This analysis page really breaks down 3 different tables, including an entity cash flow table, an entity equity table, and an inflow and outflow of partners. And all of this information is editable as part of this inputs tab that can expand and collapse depending on what variables we want to adjust as part of our 30-year ownership model. Each of these tables goes out for 30 years and shows distributions, the equity, and the number of partners in each of those cases. We can see down at the bottom there's information that's already loaded up for our existing partners, which we can go ahead and edit. Things like starting ownership and the age of buyout are all editable based off of our partners' information and what we would like to see. There's also info on generated partners, which can also change based off of what we understand our group's partner succession planning to look like. I'm now going to take you to some of the cool graphs that are available as part of Mentes360, and I'm going to focus on one of these which really shows the group's equity and how that changes over time. So we can see the debt repayment here, when buyout notes emerge, and what our anticipated balance of those buyout notes would be at any given point in time. If we decide that we want to make some changes, this particular model demonstrates cash out refinances periodically, I think every 7 years. If we want to go ahead and change that and see, well, how is our equity position affected if we decide to take a different strategy and instead pay down the debt, we can immediately see what the repercussions are of that kind of change. And what does that mean in terms of the equity position that we're going to have in our buildings, as well as the distributions and the partner buy-ins and buyouts that we might anticipate. So you can see that that loads up and shows us a completely different set of parameters in terms of buyouts that are going to occur and different debt balances on this particular real estate entity. As we flow through to our final tab, which is specific to our partners, we can see that there's information demonstrating on an individualized basis what the partners' returns are, what kind of equity they're anticipated to put in initially, when they're anticipated to buy out, and their total distributions. And we can search, in this case for Dr. Mentes, to show, well, what is Dr. Mentes' internal rate of return, initial equity expected to be contributed. We can go right along and show the distributions that are anticipated to be received and the return on equity, as well as the total distributions anticipated, right through to the buyout, which is in 2051.